morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching JanataTelevision and this is the English Bulletin with me, Anustha Acharya. The top stories first. Apex Court urges not to write misleading news related to judiciary, denies role of Chief Justice in cabinet expansion. NTA calls for uninterrupted supply for internet. Electricity Authority extends deadline for clearance of dues till mid-November. Tourism activities reopen in Chitwan National Park. Number of domestic tourists increases during festive season. Fumio Kishida announced as Japan's new Prime Minister. General election to be held on October 31st. And Chilwell and Abraham included in England squad. The pair will join the team at St. George's Park today. And now the news in detail. The Supreme Court has urged journalists to publish news related to the judiciary only after upcoming the fact that its authenticity. The Apex Court made such request after its attention was drawn to the news that claimed Chief Justice was involved in the expansion of the Council of Ministers. Issuing a press statement yesterday, as his spokesperson Baburam Dahal expressed concern over the publication of fabricated and misleading news, unnecessarily linking the Chief Justice with the issue of forming and expanding cabinet. The Chief Justice is committed to make the judiciary independent, impartial and competent in line with the Constitution. Leads the statement. Publishing such news linking the Apex Court verdict is merely an ill intention to undermine public trust towards the court and its leadership, added the statement. The press statement further noted that it is disheartening to blame the constitutionally independent, autonomous and sensitive institution and its leadership with malevolent intention. Various media on Saturday had published news stating that the CJ had sought and shared in the allocation of the ministries. President Vidya Devi Bhandari has stressed on easy access to quality health services for the general public. A report. Addressing an event organized yesterday at the BP Koirala Memorial Cancer Hospital in Bharatpur to bid farewell to a 15-member team of Chinese volunteer doctors, President Vidya Devi Bhandari said it is still a challenging issue for hospitals to be dedicated to cancer patients with limited resources and qualified workforce in a developing country like Nepal. Stating that cancer is a challenge to the world, she said that pollution, pesticide-laced foods, tobacco and alcohol consumption and unhealthy lifestyle are the triggering factors of the disease. On the occasion, she thanked the Chinese team of doctors and the hospital family for their continuous service to cancer patients. The hospital was built with the financial and technical assistances of the government of China. The president also honored the doctors' team by providing them with a letter of felicitation. A team of Chinese doctors visits the hospital every year for voluntarily work. Similarly, chairperson of the hospital, Dr. Nirmal Lamichhane, also thanked the Chinese team for their service and their contribution to the development of the hospital even amid COVID-19. Nepal Telecommunications Authority has urged all stakeholders to make arrangements for the uninterrupted use of the internet service, stating that the internet service has become disrupted at many places of the country due to the haphazard cutting off of the optical fibers at various places. The NTA urged for making arrangements for the unhindered use of the internet service. In a recent press statement, the NTA urged the bodies concerned not to cut off the optical fiber at a time when efforts are being made to resolve the dispute over the rate of pole rent between the internet service providers. Association of Nepal and the Nepal Electricity Authority by holding discussions together with the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology. NTA has called on all the bodies concerned to take legal action against anyone causing obstruction to the state's very essential service and to safeguard such infrastructures, laying emphasis on seeking solution through talks. Nepal Electricity Authority had cut off internet cables on Saturday, stating that the service providers had not paid the dues since a long time. It had given a deadline of October 1 to clear the dues. However, an understanding has been reached between the service providers and NEA to extend the deadline till mid-November following instruction from the concerned ministry. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back. We continue with other national news. The government yesterday confirmed 812 new cases of coronavirus across the country. Following the latest round of tests, the total cases of coronavirus in the country have climbed to 798,004, while the number of active cases has dropped to 16,606. According to the Ministry of Health and Population, altogether 770,224 infected persons have recovered from the disease in the country, following the recovery of 1,000 patients yesterday. The death toll from coronavirus has climbed to 11,175 after 10 fatalities were reported yesterday. Nepal is currently among top 44 countries that have been most affected by the pandemic. The USA tops the list with over 44.66 million confirmed cases, followed by India with over 33.85 million cases. Coronavirus has infected more than 236.13 million people across the world and claimed over 4.82 million lives. And now the news from economic front. Chitwan National Park has resumed tourism activities that had remained closed with the onset of the second wave of COVID-19 pandemic. A report. Tourism activities inside the Chitwan National Park, which is closed every year during the rainy season, reopen as soon as the rains subside. This year, however, the activities had remained closed due to COVID-19. The park authorities informed that all activities related to tourism have recently resumed. Chief Conservation Officer of the park, Anant Baral, confirmed that all kinds of tourism activities inside and outside the park have been opened. He added that jeep safari has also begun after the road inside the park was repaired. Elephant safaris along with jeep rides and jungle walks are also available at the community forest adjacent to the park. Visitors can also spend nights in the tower houses built inside the community forest and take boat rides on the Rapti River, which flows through the park. According to Deepak Bhattrai, president of the Regional Hotel Association Sauraha, tourists visiting Sauraha will now be able to participate in all the activities of the national park. The number of tourists is expected to increase with the reopening of the park. Bhattrai said that the number of domestic tourists have been gradually increasing since the beginning of the festive season. Even forest tourists have started arriving. Small gatherings, conferences, seminars and other programs are being held in Sauraha, Pitihani, Jagatpur and Meghalli. Time for a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international news. Welcome back. Now the international news. Fumio Kishida has formally taken office as Japan's new prime minister, succeeding Yoshihide Suga, who resigned after just 1 year in office. Kishida, 64, won the race to lead Japan's ruling Liberal Democratic Party. Last week, he will face a range of tough issues, including post-pandemic economic recovery and threats from North Korea. He will also hope to help his party regain popularity after its unpopular push to host the Tokyo Olympics. He moved to go ahead with the event came despite massive public opposition due to concern over the surge in COVID cases. Suga decided to step down as prime minister after a year in office due to plummeting poll ratings caused by the handling of the pandemic. Kishida will now lead the ruling party into a general election that must be held by November. Local media reports say Kishida is expected to call for polls by 31st October. The new cabinet members under Kishida are due to be announced later today. You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. Gareth Southgate has added Chelsea defender Ben Chilwell and Roma striker Tammy Abraham to his England squad for the month's World Cup qualifiers. The pair will join up with the squad at St George's Park on Tuesday. Chilwell's club mate Reece James has been ruled out through injury after Blue boss Thomas Tuchel said he was surprised by his election. England face Andorra away on 9th October following by Hungary on Wembley Stadium 3 days later. The three Lions are top of Group I heading into the penultimate international break of the year with 16 points from 6 games. Chilwell, 24, has won 14 England caps and was part of the squad at Euro 2020. He will help bolster Southgate's defensive option with Harry Maguire and Trent Alexander-Arnold also ruled out. Abraham left Chelsea to join Roma for in the summer and has scored 4 goals in 10 appearances for the Serie A club this season. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin and the headlines once again. Apex Court urges not to write misleading news related to judiciary, denies role of Chief Justice in cabinet expansion. NTA calls for uninterrupted supply of internet. Electricity Authority extends deadline for clearance of dues till mid-November. Tourism activities reopen in Chitwan National Park. Number of domestic tourists increases during festive season. Fumio Kishida announced as Japan's new Prime Minister. General election to be held on October 31st. And Chilwell and Abraham included in England squad. The pair will join the team at St George's Park today. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website janatasamachar.com. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.